video we'll discuss some of the new window positioning options that have been added to the grid component in version 10. So you can see here I have a very simple grid with a button that opens up a grid in another window, and when I click the button you can see that the window opens up and the initial position of the window is in the center of the screen, and then if I move the window then Alpha 5 will remember the position of the window, so the next time I open up the window basically there it remembers the position, and it also ensures that the window is visible, so that if the browser has scrolled the current page then it'll make sure that the window becomes visible. But we've now added several new important options that will help you position the pop-up windows. So I'm going to go here to the on-click and edit the Action Javascript that opens up this pop-up window, and you can see here that basically if the window type is set, if the target is a window and the window type is either a modal pop-up or a modeless pop-up, then there's a new option here called window position, and if you open up the window position dialog you'll see this dialog come up, and so the in view is the default option, which is what exists up until this new feature was added. But now the following new options exist: center, which will always center the window in the current viewport regardless of how the window has scrolled or where the previous position of the window was. Absolute will let you set an absolute position for the window in the current relative to the top of the page, so that actually might be outside of the current viewport if you've scrolled the browse. But for example, I could go here and set my current position to always be 2 pixels and 10 pixels, so if we go ahead now and check that out, we'll see now that the window always opens up in the same position at 2 pixels and 10 pixels. So there you go, you can see there's the window opening up at an absolute position. So let's go back now and continue exploring the options. So go back to design mode here, and then the next option is relative, and this is probably the most powerful of the options. So relative can be relative to self, which is the actual control that you clicked to open the window, or it can be relative to some other control, and you can give it the ID of any other control, and the window will be opened up relative to that control. And then with relative you have these options over here. So drop down opens up the window underneath the parent control with the left edge of the window aligned with the left edge of the parent control. Drop down right is the same, excepting that the right edge of the window is aligned with the right edge of the parent control. Fly out means that the window is positioned to the right of the parent control, and the top of the window is aligned with the top of the parent control. Fly out bottom. And then pop-up actually opens up the window on top of the parent control, so directly over it, and this would align the top of the window with the top of the parent control, and this would align the bottom of the window with the bottom of the parent control. So let's go now over here and set the position of the window to be pop-up, and then here in other control what I'm going to do is enter the ID of the div that actually contains the grid, so that'll cause the window to open up directly on top of the grid. So I'm going to pause here and then we'll continue in the next part of the video.